Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well and thank you for tuning in again. As you can probably tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to talk about breast implant illness and how it's affected me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I do talk very openly about it, and I did touch upon it in my first YouTube video the other week in the Get to Know Me Q&A. So I just want to do a more in-depth video as I am 5 months explant free as of today. So yeah, for those who don't know, breast implant illness is basically an illness that you get from having breast implants. As well, before I get started, I do just want to really put it out there that I'm not against plastic surgery and I'm not against people with implants or anything like that. I just think it's each to their own and people have their own reasons for wanting to do it, and I think as well that you're not necessarily going to experience what I've experienced or get ill or get sick just because you have breast implants, but it does happen to a lot more women than you would know, and it's not something that's really spoken about that much, I don't think. And I mean, I didn't know anything about it before I got implants, and I've researched into it. I've been looking at it on and off for a little while before I decided to go for it, and had never came across it until after I had my implants. So I've got my phone and just some notes here because I really want to make sure that I cover all the points and explain what's happened to me. Someone just fell. Yeah, but explain what happened to me, and yeah, just make sure I'm so open about it because I mean, it was never a secret that I got them done, but it's just something that, because I didn't know about it, I really want to put it out there, and if it just helps like one person, like that would be amazing. Because when I first felt ill and kind of thought that this was what it might be, reading other people's stories really helped me and gave me some kind of like hope that when I got them removed I was going to feel better. So go back to the beginning, I was always like a 32, 34B, like didn't really have very big boobs. It bothered us sometimes and it didn't, and I thought on and off for years about getting them done. And back in 2018 I decided to go for it. I went for the consultation, and yeah, like I thought, right, this is it, I'm going to get it done. I was in a situation where I could financially afford it and stuff like that. So yeah, got them done and everything was fine. I mean, they looked like 2 footballs stuck to my chest. I mean, right up until the end, to be honest. But I didn't really start to get poorly until it was about a year after. And I think in hindsight I probably had some of the symptoms but didn't really know it until I'd researched into it more. But I got particularly poorly just over a year after I had them done. And yeah, so if I talk about the symptoms, there's actually such a big list, but some of the main symptoms include chronic fatigue, memory and concentration problems, so like brain fog, breathing problems, sleep disturbances, joint and muscle pain, rashes, skin problems, dry mouth, dry eyes, red eyes, losing the colouring from your eyes, anxiety, depression, headaches and migraines, hair loss, gastro problems, and that's just to name a few. So yeah, there's a lot of symptoms, and there's a lot of symptoms that could be linked to other things. So for a while I just thought, oh, I'm just poorly. Like I first got really poorly, it was sort of September time of last year, so yeah, 2019, and I'd had a cold, just the seasons were changing, I got a cold, and I don't really get colds very often because I think I eat pretty well. So I had this cold anyway. I was like really poorly for about a week, and then afterwards I just couldn't seem to shake it off, and I just thought, oh, it's just a really bad cold, maybe it's a bit of flu, a bit run down, whatever. And then it just kind of didn't stop, and I just felt really, really weird, to be honest. Like it's so hard to explain the feeling, but everyone was saying, oh, it sounds like you've got anxiety, and I was like, but I don't. It was such a strange feeling, and it was around the time of my birthday at the start of October, and I felt really funny, and I'd been off work earlier that week, and I'm never off work. I took some time off. I was like, I'm just a little bit run down, like, get myself sorted for my birthday. Like, went out on my birthday, still didn't feel 100%, but powered through. I was away for the weekend as well for my birthday, and it was coming back from there the next day. I was driving, and I just felt so odd. I can't explain it, and I was sat on the Sunday night, and I just felt like my blood ran cold. I felt so weird, and I ended up ringing 111. I was getting like heart palpitations, which is another symptom as well. I felt bizarre, and anyways, 111 were like, you need to come to the hospital, like ASAP. So I went to the walk-in and waited there, and I had so many tests done. I had ECGs, I had a chest x-ray, I had bloods taken, I'm trying to think what else, I had a urine sample, they tested all sorts, I checked to see if I was pregnant and all this stuff, and everything came back as normal. So it sounded like I just had like a pretty bad panic attack. And it just was awful, because I think as well when the 111 operator told us to go, like to get to A&E ASAP sort of thing, then I did start to panic, and the heart palpitations were horrendous, and it did literally feel like I was having a heart attack. And obviously in hindsight I know I wasn't, but it was just awful. It's just like nothing I'd ever experienced before. And I just didn't know what was happening to us. I feel like I know my body quite well, and I couldn't understand. So I took some time off work again after that, to try and feel a bit better, and the headaches started to get really bad. I literally felt like I had a hangover like 24/7. It was awful. Like, you'd wake up on a morning, and even if I had a really good night's sleep, I just would wake up and think, like, just feel like I'd been asleep for like an hour. It was so strange. I just didn't know what was wrong with us, which I think was probably just making us feel more anxious. And when I was off work, I was doing some like meditation. I thought, if I meditate, maybe I'm anxious, maybe I'm stressed, and I don't realise. And was trying all these different things. I stopped going to the gym as well for a little while. I thought, I'd just take a break from the gym, give my body a rest, and it just didn't really make any difference to when I was going to the gym. I took a little break off the gym for about a week, and I just thought, I'm going to the gym anyway, because it was affecting my training, because I just felt so tired, like, all the time. And I think my body clock's always been pretty good. Like, I'm an early riser, I like to get up early, so even on a weekend when I don't set an alarm, I don't wake up at 5, but I do wake up around 6. Like, I wake up pretty early, and I think my body clock's pretty spot on. And that was one thing that I noticed, that I wasn't waking up early. I was sleeping until like 9, 10, which I never ever do. No matter what time I go to bed, I seem to wake up around the same time. But yeah, I just felt really strange about, like, I don't know, it's such a strange feeling to explain to people, because I didn't feel right, and I know I didn't feel right, but I just couldn't work out what was wrong. And I was going back and forwards to the doctors in between the hospital trip and stuff, and they were all just like, we don't know what's wrong. They were like, maybe go to your dentist to see if it's something to do with your teeth, and try some stretches for your neck in case that's why you're getting headaches. My dad and stepmom gave us like a proper sleep pillow, in case it was just something to do with the way I was lying. That was given. The headaches were just intense, like to the point where I'd just be in tears, because I just felt so exhausted, and I just didn't know how to stop it. I was using like cold compress, I tried like peppermint oil, every headache remedy going I was trying, and I've never really suffered from headaches or migraines before. As that was when your vision goes funny, that was just weird, just strange. If you experience that often, it's awful. But yeah, I just knew something wasn't right, and I just wasn't sure what. I just felt a bit like lost with what was going on, and obviously try not to Google too much, because Googling can just, I mean, you're already dead according to Google, really, aren't you? But yeah, it was about like I say, I first heard about breast implant illness, it was only actually a couple of months, or even a month maybe, after I'd had them done, and I seen an Instagram post about someone who was suffering from BII, and I just thought, oh, I'm not reading too much into that, because I'll end up just worrying about it, like, and it might not ever happen to me. I just don't want it in the back of my mind. But anyways, it was always kind of in the back of my mind, and especially when I got poorly and I couldn't work out why, I was thinking, is this what it actually is? And I put off sort of looking like into it really, because I just thought, please don't be this, like, for God's sake, sort of thing. I just thought, oh, no, like, it'll pass, and it just wasn't. Like, I know I mentioned in my other video, like, I even tried to go vegan, thinking like meat was the issue. Like, I like thought it was thinking a purely plant-based diet would actually help. I mean, it didn't at all. But yeah, I just thought it'll pass, and it didn't. So then one night I just felt so fed up. I'd had a headache all day, and it was so hard to function, that I started looking into it. And once I did, I just thought, yeah, this is what's going on. It took us a while before I actually told anyone what I thought it was, because I just thought people are going to think I'm chatting rubbish, and like, it's just a made up thing, because this is the whole issue with it, that there isn't like a test to prove that you have it. It's just a lot of symptoms, and a lot of women get them removed and feel better. So I started looking into it, and I actually started searching it through the hashtag breast implant illness, and I started reading a lot of women's stories, and sort of researching it from there, and watching people's YouTube videos about their experience and things like that. And I just was almost gobsmacked as to what I was seeing. I was just a bit like, wow, like, without a shadow of a doubt in my gut feeling, I just knew that's what it was. And I didn't really know how to, like I say, I just didn't feel like people would believe us, and I just thought, what are people going to say, like, oh, everything. But anyways, like, health to me is the most important thing, like, over any aesthetic. Like, as much as I do train for aesthetic goals to an extent, like, I'd never want to feel like that just to have big boobs. But yeah, so I first told my boyfriend when I finally decided to say, like, alright, this is what I think it is. And he was just, I mean, at first I thought he was going to be like, Emma, you're being ridiculous. But he wasn't. He was actually really, really supportive. He was like, right, Emma, we need to go and get this sorted out, like, right now. Like, you can't go on like this, you can't go on feeling like this, and was really supportive about it and stuff. And the same when I told my mum. I mean, my mum was a bit more like, oh, well, we'll see, like, it might not be that. And I was like, I don't know, I just really think it is. Like, I knew. And I think you know yourself. And I always just go with my gut. My gut's never been wrong this far, touch wood. Touch wood. But yeah, no, it hasn't. So I thought this is kind of something that I need to do. And I was still trying to sort stuff with the doctors, like rule every other little thing out. Like, I went to the dentist and things like that, like they said. And in the meantime, made an appointment with for a consultation, with a surgeon who specialised in breast surgery and did a lot of reconstruction for people who had cancer and things like that. But he basically helped people with breast implant illness before. So I made this appointment, and my boyfriend came, and I just said to my boyfriend Adam, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just say I want them out, like, I'm not gonna say too much. And he was like, you've got to say what you think it is. And I was like, nah, I'm scared you won't believe us, and you'll make us feel worse. Like, I just want them out, that's it, sort of thing. And he was like, no, you've got to say something. If you don't, then I will. So I was like, okay. So anyways, I started explaining what was happening to the surgeon, who was so lovely. And when I told him that I thought that they were making us poorly, he was just so understanding. Like, I cried, because it just felt such a relief that I'd kept it sort of bottled up for a little while, and myself and everything, and then to have someone just be like, right, okay, like, this is fine, like, we can try our best to get this sorted. And obviously he did say that he's removed some women's implants before and they felt instantly better, and he's removed some women's implants and they haven't felt better. But from what I'd read anyway, it can take like up to a year to fully detox out of the body. So the whole idea is that the heavy metals from the silicone get into your bloodstream and like basically give you autoimmune disease type symptoms, and that's how it makes you poorly. So if it's gotten into your bloodstream and into your lymph nodes, I believe, it can take longer to detox them out of your system. They recommend to do a heavy metal detox, and things like saunas and stuff help, which I was doing before the gym's closed. Obviously my diet's pretty clean. Your body naturally detoxes itself, so I've just, you know, been trying my best to follow guidelines as to how to detox, and I have been getting better and better every day. So after my operation, I would say I felt better. But then I wouldn't say I feel as good as I do now. But I did feel so much better that I felt happy, and then every day I've just continued to get better and better and better, and the headaches went away, which was amazing. That was the main thing. It was just, I mean, the fatigue and the headaches and the brain fog. Like I just couldn't remember what I was saying like 2 minutes before. It was crazy. But yeah, I've gone totally off my tangent here. Going back to the surgeon, so I seen him, got booked in for my explant, so that I seen him in the November, December, and then I was the earliest I could get in for explant was the end of January, so I had about a month to wait, which wasn't too bad. So yeah, I just kind of was like biding, just sort of waiting patiently, not wishing time away, but was kind of just ready to have them out at this point. Like I'd read too much. I just thought, even if it's not this, I need to rule it out because I don't feel well, I don't feel great. And yeah, so I had my explant surgery, like I say, felt better, and then I've just continued to sort of feel better every day, and I definitely just feel back to my normal self. And even Adam said he's noticed the difference, and as he said, like I'm not as moody, still moody, but he said, like he just said, I can't believe the difference in you, and he said he sort of noticed it but didn't notice it until now, if that makes sense. Like he didn't notice how much I'd actually changed and how much it affected my mood and stuff like that, until like my mood has been lifted and I'm sort of just a bit more chill again. But yeah, like, I mean, he never wanted us to get them done in the first place. I don't think anybody did. But it was my decision, and it was something that I wanted to do. So once I've made a decision, that's it. I go with it. But as much as I can be so indecisive, because like I say, I was indecisive about them for years, and then I was like, no, this is it. I'm going for it now. It's kind of like now or never. So yeah, like I knew they'd have to come out at some point. You know, they say they're lifetime devices. They're not. They can't be. I mean, I also read that it'd be about 4 years we'd have to get them like renewed, sort of thing. So I knew they'd have to come out. I just didn't think it would be after like 18 months, but never mind. They're out and it's done, and I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. I don't want to say I regret getting them done, because I don't regret it, but I just in a way wish I hadn't, just messed with my body. But I think the whole process of it has kind of made us appreciate my body and my little boobs a bit more. But as well, another thing that really worried us pre-op was what my boobs were going to look like. I mean, I get asked quite a lot as well on Instagram when people message and ask questions and stuff if I got a lift, and I thought I would need a lift, and the surgeon said I would say no, you know, you're still pretty young, your skin should bounce back, etc. So I didn't go for the lift, and he said it's better to not get it, and then if you wanted it, that's something that you could get. So right, okay, I didn't go for it, and I'm glad I didn't. So I just have 2 scars under here. You can't really see this side because of my tattoo, and this one, I mean, it's getting lighter as the days go by, and you don't really see it. And to be honest, it doesn't bother us. I think like I thought it was going to beforehand, but yeah, I don't mind at all. It doesn't really bother us, and no one really sees it. So so yeah. Another question I get asked a lot as well is if I had to pay to have them removed, and yes, I did. I do I did read about some women who had them done for free, but I think it took them a long time to get to that point, but I think most of the time you do have to pay, which obviously isn't ideal, but like I say, you just can't put a price on your health in my eyes, so it was a no-brainer for me. So after my surgery I couldn't train for 6 weeks as well, so that was quite tough. I could literally only do like a walk or steady state cardio, so I would mainly go, I mean it was quite dark and awful weather at the time, so I was still kind of going to the gym just to keep in a bit of a routine in my mind, and just like going and sitting on the bike or going on walking on the treadmill, which was tough for 6 weeks. And to be honest, I thought I'd cave and do like some lower body stuff a bit earlier, like what I did when I got my implants in, but I didn't. I thought, right, no, I don't want to screw anything up. But yeah, it's been good. Like I feel like obviously getting back into training has been, I just feel a lot stronger, and I couldn't really train chest when I had my implants in because it felt so uncomfortable, and a lot of exercises felt uncomfortable, like upper body ones particularly, with them in. So it's been good kind of being like reintroducing chest exercising again, and just exercises not feeling really uncomfortable like what they used to, since I didn't have two big footballs in the way. But yeah, I feel stronger and I feel better, mentally and physically, I would say. So I feel like I've waffled on quite a lot there, a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover, that I wanted to make sure that I said, just getting it all out. But if you do have any questions or anything, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram. The link for that's in my channel bio, and I'll also pop it below. But yeah, just any questions if I could help. And I do get questions quite a lot off a lot of women who think they're experiencing BII symptoms and stuff like that. So feel free if you want to message and ask anything that I haven't covered. But yeah, 5 months explant free, and I'm feeling very, very good for it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, a like and subscribe to my channel would be amazing. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.